Parikshit Tang, Dr. Amaya Purandare, come, Dr. Atul Ganatra, Dr. Preeti Vyas, Dr. Komal Chavan, Dr. Raju Sahetya, we'll take one photo. Dr. Siddesh Iyer, and we have for 2 years, Dr. Gaurav Desai and Dr. Shreya Prabhu. Can we take a photograph? It's your team. Yes. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, yes. So now that's installation now. We are at 16.
Now we have the most awaited item on the agenda, installation of the incoming president, Dr. Niranjan Chauhan.
In true traditional style, we have the installation of the 69th MOGS President, Dr. Niranjan Chauhan. Ladies and gentlemen,
Now we have the next item on agenda, item number 17, appointment of the office bearers and installation of the incoming managing council for 2022-2023 and administration of oaths to the new team by Dr. Sarita Bhalerao, immediate past president. How does it feel?
So you want to call the whole team?
Yes. May I request all the committee, managing committee 2022, 23, come up on stage, including newly elected.
Can I request everybody to come for this oath? Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Come, come. The new set of office bearers of MOGS who have just been installed will have special responsibilities and obligations to MOGS, its membership, and the welfare of all fellow human beings in general and of women in particular. I call upon them to take the oath to fulfill their role and responsibility to the best of their ability. Do you solemnly affirm that you will respect and abide by the Constitution of the Mumbai Obstetric and Gynecological Society and work to achieve its vision and mission?
Yes, we
Just
do.
hold this for a second. That you will work to promote women's health and welfare and strive to support and defend their rights and autonomy.
Yes, we do.
That through the MOGS community, you will work for social justice to abolish discrimination and eliminate disparities in women's healthcare across class and community, region and culture.
Yes, we do.
That you accept these responsibilities and obligations without reservation, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the position to which you have been installed.
Yes, we do.
On behalf of the Mumbai Obstetric and Gynecological Society, I hear you and thank you.
Thank you. Now we move on to the most awaited address by the newly installed President, Dr. Niranjan Chavan.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sarita, Dr. Suvarna, our trustee, Dr. Sham Desai, Dr. Shailesh Kore, the past treasurer, my team, Dr. Rajendra Sangpar, Dr. Geeta, and all office bearers and members of the managing committee, seniors, colleagues, and friends. Today I stand in front of you as the 69th president of my esteemed organization, the Mumbai Obstetrics and Gynecological Society, founded in 1934. And it's a pleasure to be installed as a president on the 88th AGM at 7 p.m. 1 minute on 16th of April 2022, which adds to 8 number. It's a coincidence which has occurred, and my journey begins now with all of you. I start with giving tribute to Lord Avatar Meher Baba. He has said the real happiness lies in making others happy. And that's what I've been trying to do. I'm a third generation doctor in my family. Hard work puts you where good luck can find you. I start with the tribute to my grandfather, Ramchandra Kanoji Gadekar. He was BA, Bachelor of Teaching from University of Mumbai. Thereafter, he is the first Indian to get diploma in education in the University of Scotland, Edinburgh. and he was there for 1.5 years. This was in 1937, 1938, and then he returned back. He became the education officer in the Bombay Presidency, and following independence in 1947, where India got independence, he became the director of education till he was there alive. So that's what is my roots, deeply embedded in education. It was as equivalent to a PhD in those days. I thank, and this is my mother, a gynecologist, MBBS from BJ Medical College. She was a woman with grit and determination. She pursued her DGO from KM and Wadia. After marriage, after 9 years of being married to my father, I have seen my father always encouraging her. She was RH negative, I was O positive. I was in utero when she was studying DGO. But she had spotting and bleeding PV on and off, and she was in double minds whether to continue the pregnancy or not. And a gynec advised her to undergo MTP, and she was scheduled for it. On the day of the surgery, on the OT table, something happened. She changed her mind, got off the table, refused to undergo MTP, and here I am standing in front of you. Otherwise, I would have been somewhere as an abortus in the basket of the operation theatre. That's destiny. My father was an advocate, notary public, BA, LLB, a municipal councillor, a chairman of government undertaking on various boards of committees like censor board member, public police license committee, etc., etc. For 40 years, he was in the field of encouraging, empowering members from middle class, lower middle class. And he was a very strong pillar to my mother and always supported her in her endeavors of starting a dispensary, an MTB center and nursing home in suburb called Andheri. I realized the meaning of word woman empowerment from him. My father-in-law passed away recently, was a thorough gentleman, and I do miss him as he could be present today at this August gathering. And he's looking up all of them from the sky, and I might be happy here standing to see them, that they are wishing me. My mother-in-law is still there. She's watching me live on Zoom. Thanks for all the love and affection all of them have given to me. And of course, my wife, Dr. Komal, who has been a strong, rock-solid support besides me. This is what we wear. We are sitting at the highest point of the world, that was in Nepal. It is one place where they say that this is the highest point where you can go. Obviously, we all know Mount Everest is there. And this is my wedding pic. And see how I look now and changed. The harder the conflict, greater the triumph. I hope you can recognize me where I am. That's the crying guy on the shoulder of my father. And that's the 10th standard photo of Hansaraj Morarji Public School, which I went. That was what? In Andheri. And I landed up here doing medicine, MBBS. Can you recognize me in this photo? I doubt. I have changed a lot. Yes. Yes, I can see. And that is me. I was always a shy introvert. I was always shy introvert and standing. Yeah. And St. GS Medical College taught me a lot of things in my life. And just across the road, we had Wadia Maternity Hospital, nursing home, the biggest iconic place ever I have visited in my second year, and then in my third year of MBBS, and thereafter in internship. In GS Medical College, I was very lucky to see myself, Dr. N.D. Motasha teach me. I have heard Dr. V.N. Purandare sir giving lectures. Dr. Usha Krishna madam used to be there all the time. And Dr. Shiri Shet sir, who was always being very immaculate and being nicely talking, explaining the different intricacies of surgeries. In Wadia Hospital, I had Ajit Mehta, Dr. M.N. Parikh, Dr. C.B. Purandare sir, Dr. Adi Dastur, Naina Dastur, always polished, always coming, well dressed. And I was in awe when I saw them all the time. Dr. Meru Ansotia, Dr. Manju Matalia, S.N. Daftari, Sham Desai sir, Murari Nanavati, you were all my teachers. And of course, how can I forget Dr. Nozer Shariar, Dr. Amar Bide, who taught me the forceps, the vacuum, and many, many of them. And of course, my registrars, my lecturers, Dr. Rishma Pai, Dr. Swati Alabadia, Dr. Jatin Shah, Dr. Monisha, who used to take secret clinics for us as an undergraduate and postgraduate students. It was a great journey, which was a wonderful experience I had in St. GS Medical College and Wadia Maternity Hospital. Think about every problem, every challenge we face, the solution to each starts with education. And I landed up in Sion Hospital to do my post-graduation. And there I had my madam, Dr. P.R. Vaidya, who used to ask me, "Tu jevlas ka?" And I'm sure she used to be very nice and kind to me, always motherly. I recollect she used to be very in operation theater. We are at 12 and 14 cases being lined up and no time. Sion Hospital was a different situation. And the 15 kgs which I gained during my internship, I lost it courtesy Dr. Gautam Alabadia, Dr. Santosh Nikum. They made me run from pillar to post and I was totally in disarray. The whole situation and everything was very different as compared to the symphony orchestra you find in Wadia Hospital. There I met Dr. P.K. Shah sir and of course Dr. C.N. Purandare following my post-graduation. And passion and zeal for academics, research and education is my forte, and it was embedded in my souls by these mentors. I'm in debt to them for what I am today standing here. These are some photos which I have with me. You can see Dr. C.N. Purandare, Dr. Adi Dastur, myself, Komal being looking there. This was in Ahmedabad. And then the journey started where I interacted with CN sir, Arul sir, and the rest of the FIGO when I landed up at Washington, DC. It was a wonderful experience. 22 years have passed, things have changed, and those memories I cherish. Sir had also come in various conferences, and we had workshops being arranged on ultrasound, where Dr. P.K. Shah used to be there, IFUMB, IAGE, Khandwala sir, and I could see Rishikesh Pai there demonstrating hysteroscopic cannulation, and I still remember so many members had come from abroad and we were showing the hysteroscopic surgeries. Seeing working of Dr. P.K. Shah, Dr. C.N. Purandare in various stages of MOGS, FOXY, FIGO, and other Indian organization made me understand to realize my potential to serve our women population. I'm still learning and inculcating the good things taught to me by both of them. There are friends, there is family, and then there are friends that become family. You know this guy in the center, always jovial, always kind-hearted, always talking. The first thing he will come, he will put a hand on the shoulder or he will shake a hand. And I have a wonderful journey with him. It's not only between you and me, but Our generation is because of our parents being knowing each other for a long time. When my mom was in St. GS Medical College and your dad was there as a head of the department in PSM. Rishi, you have been always very supportive, very kind, always encouraging. These are the pictures of AICOG in 2013 when we had done along with Nozar Sheriar sir as a scientific chair. And it was a wonderful experience which we went through. Nandita, an iconic personality, always a diva, I can say. So nice, always with your sparkling eyes. I can say hazelnut eyes, right? Awesome. And we had a wonderful time all together for so many decades. And again, our journey is not only between you and me, but it starts with our parents. Both our fathers know each other, and that's how this is going to continue in the next generation and the next generation and henceforth. Thank you so much for being there always with me. Rishma, what can I say about you? You are a wonderful, enigmatic personality. I cherish those moments when as MOGS members in 2000, 2003, 2006, 2009, we used to go together campaigning, asking votes. One from Sion Hospital, then to Wadia KM, then to go to JJ Hospital, then to Kama Hospital, calling people, sitting in the car. It was a wonderful journey which we went, all of us. I think all of us have gone through this process, and it was so nice of you that we have been coming together all this way. Shanta, my dearest elder sister, always she will be very frank to me and she will tell me this is right and this is wrong. And I just have to listen to her. Matter ends. I just keep myself mum. She's always so caring about me. She will call me anytime at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, anytime, even before you became the Foxy president. And I remember today you had a journey from Pune to Mumbai. You might have recollected that journey which we went through together 12 years back. When we had an argument on that driver, he said something to you, and I really was very, very angry about it. But anyway, things have changed. We both have mellowed down now over ages. Dr. Bipin Pandit is there, always there, a guiding force in suburbs. This is what we were dancing, and we had a wonderful time. We have been sharing together, traveling together, meeting people around. And so wonderful that we had an opportunity to meet Dr. N.D. Motasha. Today she is 96 years old, and I wish her all the best health of times, the founding president of MOGS. Jaideep, our journey starts in 97 and 98 where I met. And the first time, of course, Dayalal Tank sir was always there. I knew him before, but that's where we met. And see, you're standing in between Kohinoors and diamonds. And I was also one of them, along with you standing. And it is a wonderful journey that you and I share together. Thank you so much. My friends, Bhaskar, Rahul, he has been always there. Bhaskar, I am very thankful to you being there today present for my installation. 31 years ago, we met together and see what has happened. It's really great. You can be said as a Chanakya of IAG, Foxy, and your Bengal society. These are my friends. All of them, I have enjoyed my life with them for last 30 years. Dr. Raju, Dr. Lalita, Niranjan, Maidev, Prashant Bhambre, always there to help and guide me. Dr. Pradeep Palshetkar, my brother-in-law Sunil Sankhe, Vipin and his gang from Meera Road, and Subbu and Session. I met them about 2016 courtesy Rishma Pai and Nandita Palshetkar, and the COVID changed everything. And I'm very grateful to them to always being there besides me. Rajawadi Hospital 1992, I met the two biggest doyens in endoscopic which India has produced, and I was lucky to be working in both of their units, and I did not look back. That was what the journey of endoscopy started. And I thank Dr. Prakash Trivedi, Dr. Prashant Mangeshikar. The great lives are always inspiring, Benjamin Harrison has said, and my journey started in MOGS in 1997. I have to take their names till the time I'm standing here. Dr. Adi Dastur, Dr. Usha Saraya Madam, Dr. Kamlakar Varti Sir, Manju Matalia Madam, Dr. Sham Desai, Dr. Kumudingle Madam, Dr. Durusha, CN Sir, Vandana Valvekar Madam, Dr. PK Shah Sir, Naina Dastur Madam, Ajit Virkud, Rishikesh, Gautam, Vinita Salvi Madam, Nozer Sheriar Sir, Ashwini Bhalerao Gandhi, Suchitra Pandit Madam, Amit Patki, Arun Nayak, my friend, Bipin Pandit, Jaideep, Rishma Pai, Sarita Bhalerao. I welcome all my office bearers who have joined me today here. Thank you so much for being there with me. Anayata Chauhan, my Vice President, Suvarna Khadilkar, my Vice President, Secretary Rajendra Sangpal. Welcome on board. My treasurer and office bearer in charge of this conference, Dr. Geeta Balsarkar, Dr. Shailesh Kore, Dr. Kedar Ganla, librarian, Sujata Darvi, clinical secretary, and Rajendra Nagarkatti. A big congrats to you to be the newly elected joint clinical secretary. Thank you, all of you, being there, supporting me as always for so many years. And my MOGS managing council members, Dr. Parikshit, Dr. Amaya, Dr. Reena, Sudha, Atul, Ganpat, Sanket, Preeti, Pratik Tambe, Priya Vora, Puneet, Vandana, Madhuri, Komal, Mansi, Raju Sahitya Sir, Rohan, Bhumika, Siddesh, Gaurav, Shreya Prabhu, and my past presidents who are there in my committee, Vanita Raut, Madam Bipin Pandit Sir, Jaideep, Rishma, Sarita. I want to now explore on my plan, academic and social plans, which are there lined up, and I briefly will go through it. My logo. The theme of my logo is Vision for Her. It's the vision for her. We are all here to heal her, to educate her, and to respect her. And the journey started yesterday, where we had the first AI-enabled a pre-Congress obstetric workshop, which was the hands-on obstetric drills and skills in collaboration with Lardell, and it was done at Sion Hospital. 1,487 members logged in live, hybrid from all over the continents, and where we demonstrated 8 to 10 surgeries in obstetrics. This we had done, Dr. Rishma Pai, in your tenure in 2017 when you were the president of Foxy. That gave me an inspiration to do an operative workshop. And I would like to thank Arun, Rahul, our convener, and all the operative team, and about 25 working operative coordinating teams which were there all the time. We were running from arranging everything. We showed many cases, obstetric hysterectomy, even bladder suturing, internal iliac ligation, and we showed Misgav Ladakh, previous 3 LSCS adhesions, a breech presentation, delivery by vacuum and forceps. That is what is Sion Hospital, and I'm thanking you, all of you, what you have done yesterday. A big applause. Today we stand here with the World Congress of Labor and Delivery, and all of us are having a good time. We have 3 orations, 4 debates. We had a wonderful time today in the afternoon. 12 panel discussions, 18 keynotes, 24 colloquium, and 54 free papers, posters from resident doctors. It was amazing. They have been still evaluated, and I encourage the younger generation. We had international speakers. We had Patrick O'Brien sir, Liona Poon from ISUOG, Patrick sir from RCOG. Fiona joined us in the morning at Ireland, and we have Arul Kumaran sir coming tomorrow, and Jean Condry and Shanta Kumari madam will be right now after the inauguration. So all these members, I thank you to be there with the World Congress of Labor and Delivery. My second program is on 7th May. It's a World Congress of Anemia. I started this in the pandemic area. There are 12 organizations who are going to participate in this mammoth task. We want to eradicate anemia, and that's what MOGS stands for. This will be a program on a weekend from Saturday 9 a.m. till evening 8 p.m. We will try to do as hybrid or virtual. Doctors Day, 1st July, where we will be meeting and having a wonderful fellowship. September 2022 will be Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. 3rd and 4th September, we are having MOGS Sharp Conference, Safety and Health Attributes with Research and Prevention. This will be at St. Regis Hotel, Mumbai, and we will be having a pre-Congress workshops where we will be tying up with IAG, ISAR, and other organizations. We have the FOXI Managing Committee meeting, and I welcome all of you, the Managing Council, the Managing Committee members. We will be bidding AICOG 2025. And that's the spirit I have, all of you being there with me. And it will be an amazing journey where we will be celebrating 75th year, that is a diamond year of FOXI, and we will have a wonderful time together. I am blessed to have the international conference on AAGL. This is posted with AAGL October 6th to 9th. Venue will be Westin Convention Center, and IAG will be hosting Bhaskar Pal and Dr. Prakash Trivedi, supported by MOGS and supported by Shanta Kumari FOXI. In November, my friend Sarita, Amit, and Bhaskar Pal, we will be doing AICC RCOG. We welcome you all to come for that wonderful conference. In January, we have the Cervical Cancer Awareness Month, Cyclothon for her. This will be also done in January. In February, we'll be having the MOGS Annual Goals Conference, Gynecology, Obstetrics, Learning Dilemmas Solved. In March, International Women's Day celebration. This is the MOGS Trends kiosk, which is there in my 3 major conferences. I want to do something trending on Facebook, trending on Insta, trending on Twitter. Today, MOGS in the last 4 years, where it was started during Jaideep Tang's year, Parikshit, you were there, and we took this opportunity. Today, we have got 750 members who are there on Twitter. Please go on Twitter. You please hashtag Vision for Her, MOGS Trends, put your pics, put your photographs, and let's the world knows, because FIGO is there, all international organizations are there, and it makes a lot of difference to show your presence. Big FM 92.7 will be doing podcasts and snippets with MOGS. Optimism is asking how something can be done rather than saying it can't be done. I have 3 things to say regarding the optimism. First, I see a new era of cooperation to achieve the sustainable development goals. We have always spoken of global leaders joining hands for achieving health management goals. So far, leaders of global health agencies, including FIGO, WHO, RCOG, RCPI, JAPIGO, and others who are there today logged in, have come together in support of this plan and to commit to working together in closer cooperation instead of in a fragmented and a disjointed way. Second, I see new technologies that have created an opportunity to reach everyone and the health services and the health information from all the biggest cities which are there. In COVID era, I remember the TOG, I remember the task series, I remember Jaideep doing so many series, and that's how we have connected together. Now there are no boundaries in the countries. There are no separate continents. There are no oceans which we can cross. There is only one Indian Ocean. There is only one country which has been named as an ocean, and that's Indian Ocean, and we are very proud of that. The third I see the people in this hall. I see you. I see the people I've met all over the world and who share a singular commitment to achieve better health for themselves, their families, their communities, their nations, and their planet. You are our hope. No one else will achieve this ambitious vision of health for all. It is up to us. History will record us as the generation that has given a second chance to achieve health after the COVID pandemic. We do not want to waste this opportunity. We want to record it to happen. We need to write history. Let's make it happen. Let's treat her. That's my vision. It is her story. Heal her, educate her, respect her. I would like to end my talk with Barack Obama saying, change will not come if we wait for another person or wait for some another time. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. This is my family. I've been here for last 31 years, and I am very thankful to all my teachers, my past students, and those who have left me and gone away to fly and become consultants like me. They have gone across all over the continents being there, and I'm so proud of you. And I am seeing all of you also here, some of them, Dr. Arun Naik, Dr. Rahul, Dr. Prashant, Dr. Deepali Kapote, Dr. Ashwini, Dr. Manan, all my past students, and our dean. I would like to thank him, Dr. Mohan Joshi. Yesterday we bestowed him the MOGS Excellence Award for his contribution which he has done in COVID. He's a surgeon and he's a wonderful person, always encouraging. I thank all of you who have been so encouraging to me and supporting me in all these times. This is my family, my soul, my small world. I look upon. I know how you tolerate me all the time at home, but I'm very grateful to you for what I am today. And in my personal and professional life, you have always stood and guided me, and we have been there working hard together. MOGS staff, how can I forget them? Divya Ben, 43 years, she's been there in MOGS. Divya Ben, we are not going to leave you. I don't know where you are. Yes, you are here. She said, sir, this is my last year. After you, I am going. I said, thank God you're with me at least. But Divya Ben, you're a good gem. Nice. Always. Manohar, he's been so hardworking all the time. Thank you so much. Naresh, Mandar, and Hemant, all the time. He's on the phone, he's on the laptop, doing a lot of things together. Thank you so much. You have been a wonderful people there. Onference, Makarant, Mandar, Sagar, and so many of them. And the crew of 45 members. Today we are 4,500 logged in members with World Congress of Labor and Delivery. The amount of efforts you have taken, apart from 300 plus registrations today, post-COVID, amazing, phenomenal, all of you. Thank you so much. You have done a wonderful job. Thank you. Now, I would request the dignitaries on the Zoom platform from across the globe, please put them live. They've been waiting for more than 1 hour, watching me, and I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have them. This is what is MOGS. Amazing. I'm really honored and thankful for your gracious virtual presence. I can see Dr. Jean Condre from France. Dr. CN Purandare just landed from London in Dublin. I can see Dr. Patrick O'Brien there. Yeah. I request Dr. CN sir to say a few words. Can you please unmute? Yes, sir.
Niranjan. Congratulations, first of all. I don't know whether you can hear me properly.
Yes, sir.
Hear
We,
me?
yes.
Yeah. Congratulations, first of all, for taking over as the president of MOGS. You have worked really very hard all these years to achieve what you have achieved today. Full support and full marks to you for whatever you have done all these years. So Washington, you were sharing a room with the Figo Mall. It was from there on the journey. Today I couldn't have missed it. I was traveling and just landed in Dublin from London and on my way to Galway. And I said that I must make time to make sure that we are there with you for this great occasion. All the best and congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Dr. Arul, sir.
Thank you, Niranjan. First, I would like to say that I'm very happy to see Professor Jean Connery, President of FIGO, Shanta Kumari, President of Foxy, and so many other dignitaries like Pat representing the college, Rohana representing the AFOG, and so on. So it's a great occasion. Niranjan, I looked at the dictionary to see what Niranjan means. I Googled it, and it says spotless, pure, supreme being, devoid of all objectiveness, without any bad quality attributes, active and truthful. So I hope you are representing all those features mentioned in the Google about your name. Well, I'm delighted, Niranjan, that you have been inaugurated as the president of the prestigious Mumbai ONG Society. My sincere congratulations to you. You have all the attributes of a great leader. You have been working very hard over the years, and you have been a good communicator, and also you are compassion and you are a emotional intellect that you have will help in forwarding this organization further. And I'm sure you will be held in par with previous stalwarts like CN, Nose, so many others who have done a great job to bring the society to this level, including Sarita, who was the immediate past president. So I'd like to wish you, and I'm sure you will do very well because you have a strong support by your wife, Komal, and also strong office bearers. So my very best wishes to you and every success to the Mumbai Society. Thank you.
I request Dr. Jean Connery, ma'am, to say a few words.
Thank you. Dignitaries, distinguished guests, but Professor Niranjan Chavan, I felt like I was taking a tour through all my friends' gallery of photographs. Just having been there a week ago, the photographs and all of your comments shared were so special. Congratulations on being the 69th president of the Mumbai Obstetrics and Gynecological Society. You so very thoughtfully and carefully have put up with my changing calendar and travels over the last couple of weeks. I think that's a reflection of the kind of person you are and how dedicated you are to everything that we do. Congratulations and thank your mother for her wise decision about your destiny so many years ago. I think we all have benefited from Mom's decision. I want to commend your colleagues who share your wit and wisdom very clearly, because your introduction was one of the most entertaining that I've seen. And I want to, oh no, it was, I loved it. You know, having leaders like Dr. Shanta Kumari from Foxy and Dr. Rana Hathtoa, who he and I keep encountering one another from SAFOG. I'm very impressed with your vision for her: health, educate, and respect, because I think that says it all. And I know I'm going to be talking about respectful care, but it's tying all three of those together. I always say that our foundation is knowledge. And upon that knowledge, we have 4 pillars. And one important pillar is education, like you're showing in this Congress. Another one is advocacy. And what you're doing with ministers of health is critical. A third pillar is how to interpret all the research, and you're doing that with everybody that you've had, and then how to strengthen health systems. So I commend you. It was Ralph Nader, who is an expert in safety and change, who said, we start with the premise that the function of leadership is to produce more leaders, not more followers. And I can say that that is very evident in Mumbai, in the Mumbai Society, and in what you do. So thank you for having me be part of the program.
Thank you. Dr. Patrick, sir.
Niranjan, many congratulations. It's an absolute delight to see you take this well-deserved role. You follow in a long line of illustrious predecessors, and I'm sure you'll follow in some of their footsteps to even better and bigger things. The Mumbai Society has always been dear to my heart because when I met Amit Paki back here in London, and then he went back to Mumbai, that was my first connection with India. It was 24 or 5 years ago. And I see so many familiar and friendly faces around the room there. And I think it's a measure of the regard, the esteem in which you're held, to look around that room and the dais today and just see what a galaxy of stars you have there, including the people on Zoom, online at the moment. So a reflection of what the high regard that you're held in, and your program looks absolutely fantastic. I hope to join some of it. It looks amazing, and good luck for the rest of the year. I'm sure it'll be a stellar success. So thank you for inviting me.
Dr. Asma, ma'am.
Can you hear me? Huge
Yes.
congratulations. I'm here actually on Labour Ward at St. George's. Well, thank you for inviting me to join you. And I've got actually, by the way, I've got Humaira, who's your young doctor, who she was telling me how amazing been working with you and how much she learned from you. So just congratulations to all the huge efforts that you've been doing and all the Zoom meetings you've been organizing during the pandemic. Thank you for sharing this lovely pictures and memories. And we miss you, and I wish hopefully next time we'll be with you in the same room. And well done, and congratulations, and good luck with your program.
Thank you. Dr. Fionnuala, ma'am.
Congratulations, Dr. Ranjan Chauhan. A real honor to be here, and thank you for the very kind invitation. I was very impressed with your inaugural response. And you really have an incredible vision for Mumbai, a step from gynecological society coming forward, and for your vision, how are you going to develop the HER program? So congratulations, and thank you so much for including us, and a big welcome and congratulations from OCPI in Ireland. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And our own Dr. Rohana uncle. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Niranjan, for your kind words. And I congratulate you for being installed as the president of the Mumbai Society. I mean, I am very honored to be along with the leaders around the globe, Professor Jean Connery, Figo President, Arul Kumaran, the past president, C.N. Puranthar is the past president, and Dr. Pat O'Brien, and all the others in this ceremony to see you being installed as the president of Mumbai Society. So I congratulate you once again. And I must admire your mother for taking that great step, that is stepping out of the operating theatre tables. So I think that has given us a leader today who is standing in front of us. So I know Niranjan, he has been working very closely with us over the past few years in the AFOG as well as SAFOG. and he has been a very a good steering force and a very good leader who has been involved in so many activities in our federation. So
Yes.
I'm sure under your leadership, the MOGS will attain great heights with your assistance of your grand team. Thank you very much for the opportunity given.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Thank you for joining today. MOGS is blessed and very happy. In spite of your busy schedule, this being a weekend, you have given that valuable time. And that is what is MOGS, the long cherished friendships with all of you. We again thank you so much. Now, I would request we would go ahead with our inaugural function. Sarita. Yeah.
We have
Now,
some
we
two,
will-
3 items on the agenda. We can
Yeah.
quickly finish. So
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to take any other business? Yeah. We would like to call upon Dr. Jaideep Tank. Please come here on behalf of MOGS. All of us would like to felicitate you with a floral bouquet. MOGS, you have made us proud. Your president-elect, Foxy, with the amount of efforts.
Congratulations, Jaideep. Come. Of course.
Last 1.5 years has been a lot of difficulties for all of us going through COVID, but Jaideep stood there and he made it. Mumbai is strong. Mumbai is one. MOGS, we will be united, and we made it. And he has come with the highest votes. Thank you so much. Now I call upon Dr. Nandita Palshetkar, one of our MOGS members. Madam, please come. Our FIGO representative. Thanks so much. With the next items.
So
Can I have Dr. Durusha on the Zoom platform?
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. Is there anyone left? I can't. You please unmute. Madam, please unmute.
I'm unmuted. Hi.
Yes, madam. Thank you.
All
Clear-
the best to you, Niranjan. All the best to you for your presidential year. You have struggled
Thank
a
you.
lot and gone through years and years of being on the managing committee. And I know you'll do a great job. So all the best to you. I'm sorry I can't be with you today, but I will definitely connect with you in a day or
Yes,
two.
ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
now I'll do the very much, I'm very, very pleased to hand over the proceedings to Dr. Rajendra Sangpal, the secretary just installed, and I'm feeling so relieved and nice. So Rajendra, over to you.
Thank you. I'm very much humbled to be the Secretary General of the Mumbai Obstetric and Gynecological Society. We are on the agenda number 19, the presentation of financial resolution related to authorized signatories for adoption by the treasurer. Our treasurer is Dr. Geeta Balsarkar. Dr. Geeta, can you just read?
It is resolved that the following 3 office bearers of Mumbai Obstetric Gynec Society shall operate the savings account at the Bank of Baroda at the Jacob Circle, Mumbai. And any of the following 3 signatories will operate the bank account and the fixed deposit receipts. The president, Dr. Niranjan Chauhan, the secretary, Dr. Rajendra Sangpal, and the treasurer, Dr. Geeta Balsarkar. I need someone to, Dr. Suchitra Pandit to propose, and seconded by Dr. Rajendra Nagarkatti.
Thank you. To take up the resolution, motion or amendments sent by the members.
Is there any resolution? Vote of thanks, Raju.
At the end of this AGM, I have to do as a Secretary General, I have to do a vote of thanks. On behalf of MOGS, I wish to thank Dr. Shyam Desai and Board of Trustees for being there. Immediate past President, Dr. Sarita, Secretary, immediate past Secretary General, Dr. Suvarna, Treasurer, Dr. Shailesh Kore, for their efforts to make the year a successful one and further uplifting MOGS. I wish to thank Honorary Legal Advisor Amit Karkhanis, Accountant Mr. Bhalekar, MOGS educational partners, and Makarand and his team for their support for MOGS activities. I wish to further thank MOGS staff, Divyaben, Manohar, Naresh, Hemant, Mandar, and the managing committee and the office bearers for their efforts. Thank you very much. And really thank you for all of you for being there for this AGM. Thank you.
I request everyone to be seated, kindly be seated. We are going to have this is going to be followed immediately by the inauguration of this conference, and all the congratulations and the customary wishes to Dr. Niranjan can be given after the inauguration of the conference and the orations. Yeah. Can we go ahead with the inauguration, Niranjan?
Niranjan? Yeah.
Yeah, you start the inauguration. So you sit.
Rohan.
Oh, one side. Hello.
Dr. Shruti, can I have you backstage, please? Yeah, please wait. Can I request all the delegates to please be seated? We need to start the inauguration. Can we have Dr. Komal Chavan on stage, please? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, everyone. Maybe
Dr. Niranjan will be available for all of you the whole of the day and night today.
may we please request everyone to please
Please
take
be
a seat.
seated.
Dr. Komal Chavan, ma'am, can you please?
May I request everybody to please be seated so that we can start the inauguration.
Hello, requesting everybody to please be seated. We are proceeding with the inauguration of the conference.
Mother is considered equal to God. Motherhood is probably the most divine responsibility bestowed in humanity. And as obstetricians, we are the sutradhar in this journey of motherhood. A journey filled with joy, surprises, challenges, but finally in Bollywood style with a happy ending. On behalf of the Mumbai Obstetric and Gynec Society, MOGS, we welcome you to the inaugural ceremony of the MOGS Her World Conference on Labor and Delivery, which is being held today and tomorrow here at the Sofitel Hotel, Mumbai. MOGS, with its 2,500 plus members, is one of the most strongest and largest member societies committed with the sole purpose of improving women's health, not just in the city, not just in the country, but all over the world. May I request our Youth Council members, Garima, to please escort our dignitaries on the dais, Dr. Niranjan Chavan, President MOGS, Dr. Rajendra Sangpal, Secretary MOGS, and Dr. Geeta Balsarkar, Treasurer MOGS. It gives me great pleasure, and I request Dr. Shruti, our Youth Council member, to escort our guests of honor this evening, Dr. Shanta Kumari, President Foxy, our popular and beloved All Is Well, renowned film and theater personality, the All Is Well obstetrician from the Three Idiots, Mr. Sharman Joshi. Next time, friends, you can't make a baby cry, just call Sharman and he'll tell you the mantra for it. And Dr. Rishikesh Pai, President-elect Foxy. We also are privileged to have amongst us our chief guest for today, Dr. Jean Connery, President Foxy, President Figo, who has so graciously joined us from Paris. Thank you, ma'am, for being with us. May I request my co-anchors, Dr. Komal Chavan and Dr. Rohan Palshetkar, to felicitate our dignitaries on the dais with floral bouquets. Rohan, to all the MOGS dignitaries. And Komal, to all our guests, please. May I request Dr. Rohan Palshetkar to introduce Dr. Niranjan Chavan for his welcome address.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Niranjan Chavan is our dynamic MOGS president. He's also the joint treasurer of Foxy. His visionary outlook on the integration of AI in obstetrics is the first of its kind at a conference in Mumbai. He's also the head of unit and professor OBGYN at LTMMC and Sion Hospital and has many chapters and publications to his name. Sir, may I request you to please give your welcome address.
Thank you. I have already spoken a lot, and I think the journey was wonderful. Thank you, Sharman Joshi sir. We will not tell what we were all together before. You want me? You'll tell. Okay. Thank you for being. It is destiny. You know, you come back again after 25 years and you meet. That's life. Thank you for being there as a guest of honor. Thank you, Shanta ma'am. You are hopping from one place to another to third. I think, do you know which place? I think when in the morning when you get up, oh God, where am I? First, let me understand. And that's what is Foxy. Going back from Pune, going back to Mumbai, again going to Pune. It's amazing. Thank you. Wonderful journey you had, madam, being there. And what can I say, Rishi? Thank you being there as a guest of honor for us. Always inspiring. Thank you for being there. I thank all of you being here, sitting here together, and just enjoy this inauguration and the orations. I'll not take much time.
Thank you so much, sir. As we start this inaugural Her World Congress, we seek the blessings of the Almighty and pray for an auspicious beginning. So may I request all the dignitaries on the dais to join us for the lamp lighting ceremony. May we have the candle?
a journey from Pune to Mumbai. All the best, and Mumbai is so very close to my heart. I feel that.
May I now request Dr. Rishikesh Pai to address our delegates with his visionary outlook.
Thank you, Sharman, Dr. Shanta Kumari, my great friend Niranjan, Geeta, and Rajendra, and many of the seniors who are there in the audience. All my family, so to say. And, it's a great pleasure to see you getting installed as the president. You gave a beautiful speech, and it rekindled all the, memories down the memory lane. And of course, Sharman, you have been in a great movie, which we will never forget in our life. You had a fantastic role in that movie. And it's so apt, thanks to Nozer and all of them that you have here today. I and Dr. Jean Connery is looking at us, overseeing us, and Dr. Arul Kumaram, Dr. C.N. Purandare, Dr. Rohana, Patrick, all of them are there who are looking at us from the digital world, so to say. And I was just thinking that the last 30 years have been very important for us all. They were the evolutionary years where our country, we were establishing ourselves. We were actually getting established. And now we are in that cusp. We are in the change phase. We are now in the next 30 years. We are looking towards the next, and you are in that fulcrum of change. You understand? The first years were trying to establish ourselves, trying to build our hospitals, getting our feet on the ground. And now we are in the next phase where we will do more of research, innovation, evolution. So the country has also grown from a very underdeveloped country to a fantastic country. You will be surprised that we have the 4th largest foreign exchange in the world, more than $500 billion. We have displaced Russia. Russia has gone to $430 billion. So we have displaced Russia. So that's the power of this ever-growing country. We are not talking about, from achieving our development goals to how to improve our outcomes. So these are so many exciting things. And when I look at you, all your youngsters sitting here, I envied. I wish I could go back 30 years and, travel this new journey, holding your hand together. Anyway, it's a fantastic feeling because, MOGS is the family. Whatever we are today is because of MOGS. And Niranjan, wish you the very best for everything that you will do in the future.
Thank you so much, sir. May I request Niranjan sir, Geeta ma'am, and Rajendra sir to please felicitate Dr. Rishikesh Pai with a memento.
The Mumbai Obstetric and Gynecological Society confers Dr. Rishikesh Pai, President-elect Foxy, the MOGS Her World Congress of Labor and Delivery Guest of Honor, signed by me, Rajendra, and Geeta. Thank you for being there.
Now, it is my pleasant task to introduce our guest of honor, renowned film and theater personality, Mr. Sharman Joshi. He has acted, directed, produced various plays in various languages. He is an extreme versatile actor, and we remember his superlative performance in the iconic films like Rang De Basanti, Ferrari Ki Savari, and of course his unforgettable performance in Three Idiots, where he actually innovatively assisted childbirth. So he is like an obstetrician, like one of us present here on this dais. And we are
होठों को करके गोल सीटी बजा के बोल.
So we are really eagerly waiting to hear your point of view.
Life हो out of control, होठों को करके गोल, होठों को करके गोल, सीटी बजा के बोल. मुर्गी का जाने अंडे का क्या होगा, अरे लाइफ मिलेगी या तवे पे फ्राई होगा, कोई ना जाने अपना फ्यूचर क्या होगा.
So yeah, thank you very much for having me here this evening. It's so uncanny, the timing. Dr. Nozair Shariar, who's given birth to 3 of my children, when he told me about this conference, I had just finished work on a film which has the concept of male pregnancy. And I'm very keen that all of you all watch that movie. I will have a special screening, if possible, for the entire fraternity here. Ma'am asked the name of the movie. The name of the movie is Congratulations. It's a Hindi and Gujarati bilingual. And this is the first time I'm producing a film also. And I play the pregnant male. So a few extra kilos added on for the film only. Now you'll realize I'm half a gynac, kind of a delivery in Three Idiots. And now in this one, I've got a lot of experience and understanding of what gynacs contribute. Niranjan and me go back to gymming at Talwalkar's, and suddenly I meet him after very many years, and he's the president of MOGS. And Niranjan, very many congratulations to you, and I hope you have a fruitful innings and enjoy your time here as a president. And once again, thank you very much for having me here, and hope to see you all at the screening of Congratulations. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I would now request our office bearers of MOGS to felicitate Mr. Sharman Joshi with a memento.
The Mumbai Obstetric and Gynecological Society confers Sri Sharman Joshi on 16th of April at the inauguration of MOGS, Her World Congress of Labor and Delivery, the MOGS Guest of Honor, signed by Dr. Niranjan, Dr. Rajendra, and Dr. Geeta Valsarkar. Thank you so much.
It's truly an honor to introduce our chief guest, Dr. Jean Connery. Dr. Jean Connery is the president of FIGO. She has been the past president of American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology. She is an advocate of integrating environmental health studies into both research on women's health and advocacy for policies known to promote lifelong health. Ma'am, I request you to say a few words of wisdom to our delegates.
Well, thank you so much. I feel like I am watching family here, having been with you all just a week ago, and then being here to see this very auspicious occasion. It is an incredible honor to be elected a president of a society like the Mumbai Obstetrical and Gynecological Society. So my sincerest congratulations, because it takes energy, it takes enthusiasm, it takes knowledge, and it takes a confidence. And I've seen all of that with Niranjan. It's been an incredible opportunity to get to meet you, and I wish you all the best. I look around at the society and see the level of engagement, and I agree with your past president saying we're on the cusp of seeing how much India is doing, how much you've done, but all that you can do, the power of bringing all of these people together is truly awesome. And I feel very honored to be part of this family. So congratulations to all of you, and particularly Niranjan.
Thank you so much, madam. And we all are eagerly waiting to hear your oration. So you are with us, logged in again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. May I now request our Secretary MOGS, Dr. Rajendra Sangpal, to come and give the formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, Rohan. It's again one more pleasant task to do. Vote of thanks for MOGS inauguration. The Her World Congress is one of its kind, and it wouldn't have been possible without the concept and vision of President MOGS, Dr. Niranjan Chavan. I would like to thank the chief guest, Dr. Jean Connery, FIGO President, the guest of honor, Dr. Shanta Kumari, Mr. Sharman Joshi, and Dr. Rishikesh Pai. International guest keynote speakers, Dr. Patrick O'Brien from RCOG, Leona Poon from ISU OG, and Fionnuala from RCPL, and Dr. Pushpa Chaudhary from WHO. I must thank Professor Arul Kumaril, past president of FIGO, for being there, and the orators, Dr. Jean Connery, Dr. Shanta Kumari, and Dr. P.K. Shah. Without the help of our conveners, Dr. Komal Chavan, the better half of Dr. Niranjan, and Dr. Rameya Purandare, they are always being there for every conference as a conveners, and they do the best. Office bearer in charge, Dr. Geeta Valsarkar, our treasurer. I would like to also thank all the office bearers and managing committee members of MOGS for all their help and support. A team, Lardel from Norway, for providing artificial intelligence enabled mannequins for yesterday's workshop, and all the educational partners who are associated with MOGS. Just to name platinum sponsors, Sun Pharma and MQR, diamond sponsors, Abbott, team event,
management of tropical for providing us for this conference.
I think MOGS office staff we must thank for their dedication. Divya Ben, Manohar, Heman, Naresh and Mandar, they're always there. At the end, I must thank all of you for being there patiently sitting here and listening to us and bearing with and making this conference a success one. Thank you so much.
Rajendra and three conveners. Thank them. Rajendra.
Yeah, I must tell the dedication of Ameya, Rohan and Kamal for making this work a wonderful job. Thank you. Thank you.
I now request everybody to please stand up for the national anthem in none other than the iconic Lataji's voice.
भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल तव शुभ नाम जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you so much.
Madam Walvekar, we wish to give you the plaque of your keynote address. Please come on the dais. Madam, please come.
MOGS, Dr. Dosi.
May I have your attention, please? After a wonderful inauguration, let us begin with the. We have Dr. Dosi Bai Dadabhai Silver Jubilee oration. let me begin by introducing our chairpersons, Dr. Shanta Kumari Madam, Dr. Rishikesh Pai, and Dr. Niranjan Chavan Sir, President MOGS. I would request Dr. Niranjan Chavan Sir to introduce our speaker, Dr. Gian A. Conroy from USA.
Yeah, before that, I would like to introduce the orator. Before that, I would like to say about Dr. Mrs. Dosibai Dadaboy. She was MD London MRCP. She was not only possessed the unusual combination of beauty, brains, exquisite taste and start of the art knowledge. She holds the unique distinction of having the first ever lady president of the Bombay Obstetrics and Gynecological Society. She was the first to be appointed as the honorary obstetrician of the Kama and Elbless Hospital for Women, which was fully manned by a women's doctor. The government of India invited her as the president of Association of Medical Women in India,
May I please have some silence and please
Some
be
silence,
seated?
please, in the hall.
commonly known as the Boer Committee. During the war years, she worked on the Bombay branch of the Red Cross Society and subsequently became the proud recipient of the MBE from the government of India. It was perhaps befitting then that the Dr. Dosibai J.R. Dadaboy's Silver Jubilee oration was the first oration to be instituted by the Bombay Obstetric and Gynecological Society just after her demise. Now I call upon Dr. Jean Connery, Madam, to please start her oration. We are going live right now. Thank you for being there with us. And the topic is respectful maternal care. Welcome, Madam. Dr.
Thank
Jean
you.
Connery is the FIGO president. She's MD, PhD from San Francisco, California. She has been the president of the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology, and currently she is the president of FIGO. Thank you, Madam, for gracing this occasion live. I know we wanted you to be there personally.
I know.
Just concluded an AICOG, and it was an honor that in spite of your busy schedule, you're still there in France and being connected with us. We are greatly indebted to you. I request you to please start the oration. Shanta,
Thank
you want to
s-
say something?
I think I would like to thank our dear Jean Connery, our FIGO president, for joining us again today at the installation ceremony of Niranjan.
Uh-oh, did it freeze?
And it's lovely to see you, and everyone is so very inspired by your smile and your commitment to FIGO and the women of the world. Thank you. And you know, everyone has told me to convey that you are one of the very nicest, finest, and down to earth President FIGO. It was a pleasure connecting with you, and everyone who attended Indore told me to tell thanks to you for being there with us. Thank you.
Oh, Shanta, Dr. Kumari, Dr. Chavan, thank you so much. I am honored to be here. I feel like it's family. After the last 2 weeks, I feel like this is family, seeing everybody there in the audience and being a part of this, learning about the lighting ceremony for me was helpful. Shanta, come. I got down how to move quickly. And then quite honestly, listening to your national anthem and seeing that the words mean victory, victory, victory. So to all of you, I wish victory for all that you do every single day for taking care of women through her health, educate, and respect. I'm going to try sharing my slides right now. Let me see. And I'm hoping that you can see everything fine. So you've got a fabulous 2 days talking about obstetric care. And Laerdal is certainly one of the leaders in really helping us provide improved care. But today I'm going to talk a little bit about safe and respectful care, because the two of them go hand in hand. And I have to apologize because I've got a little bit of a cough and a sore throat. But listening to Dr. Josabai Dadabi and all that she accomplished, I am particularly honored that I was asked to provide her oration, because this is all about empowering women, empowering our patients to ask and have us provide everything that we believe is so important for them. But as I start out, I want to talk with you a little bit. It's nice sometimes to hear a story. There was a woman in Florida. I'm from the United States, so I'll give a Florida story. A woman in Florida who had an emergency C-section, not planned at all. It truly was an emergency. The baby's heart rate dropped. This is a Black woman, very fit Black woman, but the C-section went well. She did great with it and was able to have the baby on her chest afterwards, and had her mom in her the post-op recovery area. And then the next day, this woman started feeling short of breath. Well, this woman also knew that she had a history of a pulmonary embolus. And she was so short of breath, she didn't want to tell her mother what she thought was going on. So she went out to the nursing station and said to the nurse, "Look, I've had a pulmonary embolus before. This is a pulmonary embolus. I need you to have somebody get me a CT scan and get me on blood thinners." Well, the nurse looked at her and thought she was crazy. She said, "I think it's your medications that are working, and let's just get you back to bed because your medications are making you dizzy." And she said, "No, I have had a pulmonary embolus. I know what is going on. This is a pulmonary embolus. I'm going to die if you don't take care of this. I've got crushing chest pain. I'm short of breath. I can't get my oxygen. You need to get a CT scan." Well, eventually they got hold of the doctor and they came in and did an ultrasound. And this Black woman is saying, "Don't do an ultrasound, just get me my CT scan." Well, eventually, several hours later, they got the CT scan. And guess what? She had a saddle embolus. No one respected this patient. She had a history of a pulmonary embolus. She knew the symptoms. She knew the treatment. She knew what she needed. This woman was Serena Williams. She's one of the most famous and wealthiest women in the world. She knew what was going on, and yet no one respected her opinion that she knew enough about her body and what was going on to take care of her. So read Serena Williams' summary. She actually did end up getting the CT scan, the blood thinners. They ended up having to go back in for 3 operations. She ended up having to have fitting over the vena cava to stop the blood clots. She actually then had to go back in for hematoma evacuation because of the blood thinners. And she did survive. She's got a healthy baby, but she speaks eloquently about why we need to listen to our patients. I have no conflict of interest to declare, but I want all of us to understand that there have been historical barriers for safe and respectful care. We need to be aware of them. I want to describe 4 elements about safe and respectful care, and then really, focus on leadership development. I hope my voice lasts. So we talk about respectful care. There are a lot of articles coming out now. But I think the most important one is to say that this has been a journey, and it's a journey that is taking place. Just as our introduction said, we're transitioning in India from where you've been and where you're going. That's how we are with respectful care. If we don't look back and realize that we have not treated women with respect necessarily, and we've not created a safe environment, we haven't done everything that we need to do. And the journey started in the 1940s when there was a universal declaration about human rights. But it was the 1990s when the United Nations said we need to look at violence against women, we looked at ourselves and said, how often do we do an emergency C-section and just whisk the woman away without consenting her, without telling her about why we're doing this? So it was then in the 1990s that we started saying we need to humanize childbirth. We need to transform the respectful care and listen to a woman and her families in order to instill respect. And we also need to know that sometimes there's too little, too late. In our underserved populations, we don't provide for the needs of women. Or in my culture, it's too much too soon. We whisk women away for a C-section and haven't given them adequate time to labor. All of that is part of a safe and respectful childbirth. There was a very great survey on respectful maternity care and its relationship with childbirth in Iranian women. And this was a prospective cohort study. So they followed women over several years to see what were some of the major factors that caused differences. And the most important conclusion they had was there was a direct relationship between maternity care and respectful care and women saying they were having a positive childbirth experience. Now, does this make sense? It does to me, but it's nice when we can document that and say, look, what do we need to do? In fact, in my own hospital, where we survey every woman, we found that if we just changed some of the wording of how we addressed women when they came into labor and delivery, just enough of our vernacular, our speaking with women, that they perceived us differently, perceived us being more empathetic, and perceived that we were listening to their needs more extensively. In this study by Dr. Ansari in India, just published 2 years ago, they looked at a systematic review and an analysis about what showed respectful care. And about 50% of the time, women felt that they weren't respected. 50% of the time, they weren't consented for some of the different steps that were taking place. And about 25% of the time, women felt that there was not adequate explanation or interpretation of all of the steps that we're going to take. And they actually identified 2 different sets of factors, what they call the socio-cultural factors, age, socioeconomic status, caste and parity, how much women felt that they had their own autonomy, and were they having comorbidities? Was a woman with diabetes and hypertension, and she wasn't listened to as much as she thought she should. And then, pardon me, there are environmental factors. In fact, the physicians and the midwives felt that they weren't listened to because they were taking care of women in overcrowded facilities. It was just the infrastructure that wasn't adequate. The health facilities were ill-equipped, supplies sometimes didn't come, and the physicians themselves felt frantic. They could not do what they needed to do. And sometimes the outcome was they didn't show enough respect to a patient because they themselves were frustrated. So it was all of those access issues that we find inhibit our function. Sometimes we take them out on our patients or share them with our patients. The Cochrane Library and the Cochrane Review said continuous support for women during childbirth actually does improve the perception. And this is where it's a little bit hard to tell. But continuous support during labor in some situations showed that there was an improvement for women and infants. It seemed that there was a correlation. And again, these have to be studied more, but a correlation that a continuous support actually helped facilitate spontaneous vaginal deliveries, helps facilitate shorter labors, decreases cesarean section, fewer instrumental births, and need for analgesia. So at least there's an association here. Now, what type of support was needed isn't very clear. Sometimes it was just very educated support in the form of a family member who stayed at the woman's side the entire time and made a difference. But this led the White Ribbon Alliance to look at respectful care in more detail. And the White Ribbon Alliance is now working around the world to improve the care that we provide in showing respect, in consenting women properly for surgery, in looking at what the family's needs are, in having a birth plan for a woman. It is locally led, so every country has White Ribbon Alliance. It's a grassroots movement, but they survey women. They ask women's opinion, and we haven't done well. So we're here to try and improve it. In 2018, at the World Congress in Brazil, we initiated the International Childbirth Initiative with 12 steps to safe and respectful care. This initiative is a plan with FIGO, with the International Pediatric Association and the International Confederation of Midwives to collaborate on to say, what can we do better and what can we do more so that women feel respected, so we have safe and respectful births. So FIGO is collaborating with the International Childbirth Initiative. And what I wanted to describe today is the FIGO strategic plan. Now, not in all the details, I'm sure several of you have heard in many, many ways, but I want to show you where we are at our heart when I look at our divisions and our committees. This is a large kind of a busy infogram, but it shows our structure. It shows our structure with our committees and with our divisions. But I want you to look at the very center of this, and at this very center is safe and respectful care. Now, that's not a committee. That's just a belief that at the very heart of FIGO, we must have safe and respectful care. And around that are a series of committees. Excuse me, climate change and toxic environmental exposures, human rights, refugees, and violence against women, and ethical aspects of human reproduction and women's health are all committees that interact with every other committee that we have within FIGO. And we put safe and respectful care at the center of that sphere. And up above that, you can see health systems here, the Division of Maternal and Newborn Health, where health system strengthening and respectful care. We call out respectful care, childbirth and postpartum hemorrhage, infections during pregnancy, preterm birth, and impact of pregnancy on long-term health. Those all form the basis here with safe and respectful care. We also have a division of sexual and reproductive health and well-being. Our own Dr. J.D. Malhotra is here, reproductive medicine, endocrinology, and infertility. But we see the gamut from contraception and safe abortion to infertility. And then we've got another division here of benign surgery with urogyne, minimal access, and obstetric fistula. But again, they rely on that center of safe and respectful care. And then 3 more committees on women's cancer, women healthcare, chaired by Dr. Hema Divakar, and then menstrual disorders and related health impacts. So the reason I'm calling this out is that we believe fundamentally we all need to be addressing respectful care. Now, last year in 2021, the World Health Organization asked all leaders of the world to come together, and FIGO leadership with our trustees, our councils, and our committees said that we are going to focus on World Patient Safety Day to act now for safe and respectful childbirth. We pulled together all of our leaders and said, what can we do? And we asked for all of our member societies to sign on to a statement as individuals and organizations to sign on for safe and respectful care. And I'm going to go over for the rest of my talk to highlight what this is. FIGO and our member societies on Patient Safety Day said we represent the specialists in obstetrics and gynecology around the world. And we celebrate World Patient Safety Day with a particular focus on this year's theme, 2021, on safe maternal and newborn care. As organizations that are dedicated to high quality and timely prenatal care, we collectively say we all need to act together. 1,000 women die every day from complications before, during, and after pregnancy. So we need to address safe and respectful care. We came together for a childbirth bill of rights. So that's our first element, that we created a childbirth bill of rights. We welcome this joint statement on a Bill of Rights because it takes together the documentation of what are the rights of women and girls globally, and we work alongside our global equivalent professional organizations like the Mumbai Society. The statement sets out a Bill of Rights for childbirth. It was produced by ACOG and the Royal College initially, but then signed on by all of our member societies. When we look at this, we are ensuring maternal care is provided to all who need it, regardless of race, ethnicity, faith, disability, or their status. If they're a refugee, they need safe and respectful care. And nowhere is this more evident than right now in Ukraine, where 1,000 women a day are not having safe access to care. We believe in developing risk-appropriate care pathways, as you have done these past couple of days, as you're talking about bundles of care. Those are risk-appropriate pathways. We safeguard patients by making sure that health professionals and charities and organizations, particularly, are making women safe in times of violence and conflict. We ensure that high-quality sexual and reproductive health services so that every pregnancy is a planned pregnancy. We put all of this within a framework of beneficence, non-maleficence, justice, and autonomy. So we need to make sure that respectful care recognizes the wishes of every woman, that if a woman does not want to carry a pregnancy to term, that's not forced upon her. So it's a childbirth Bill of Rights. We also believe that we need to produce a model of care to prepare women for pregnancy. Take a well-woman healthcare approach so that we make sure that women across their lifespan, particularly in the reproductive years, are able to plan for safe pregnancies. We have to make sure that we've got pre-pregnancy screening, inter-pregnancy screening, and postpartum care, and make sure that we supplement women properly with iron, folic acid, vitamin D, all of the things that we need, vitamins to support a healthy pregnancy. And as we heard very eloquently, what you're going to be doing is looking at anemia. What is one of the major causes of maternal death? Anemia, so that women are not even prepared when they start pregnancy. So addressing anemia across the life course, so if and when a woman elects to conceive, she's safe. And again, excuse me, when we talk about women who are pregnant and giving birth, we want to make sure that she has free and affordable maternity health coverage, that it's freely available, all of the information, how to prepare for childbirth, how to go through childbirth, and how to care for a child afterwards. That we get the appropriate care in labor, that women have access to the needs that they wish. If they want an epidural, if they want analgesia, that we make sure that that is appropriate and it's there. And for our healthcare practitioners, where you are in a situation where you don't even have that access to an epidural, have the access to the appropriate medications. The oxygen, we heard from you all during COVID, how you didn't even have enough oxygen to provide for women in labor, let alone those with COVID. So how do we make sure we've got health systems that are strong enough to take care of all of the needs of women? And in our health systems, that we register all women, track their outcomes, and make sure that we register every maternal death. And finally, in our Childbirth Bill of Rights, we produce a model of care that follows women not just for 42 days or not just for the 6 weeks. We follow women for a full year. Because during that full year, we know risk factors like follow-up on anemia, her hypertension, her diabetes. All of those that we identified problems in pregnancy, we can follow up with them adequately and make sure that we've adhered to all of that woman's needs, ensuring that she's got risk-appropriate care, the appropriate contraception, and can space her pregnancy so that each pregnancy is healthier. Now, we also have an ethical framework for respectful maternity care, and this is meant to parallel, to work closely with the Childbirth Bill of Rights. Your very own Dr. Sanjay Gupta, who was chair while we authored this, said we need to support the Bill of Rights with our Committee for Ethical and Professional Aspects of Human Reproduction and Women's Health, because pregnancy, labor, and birth are healthy and life-changing physiologic processes for women and their families. So it is important to make sure that care is at least founded on ethical principles. So we had the Childbirth Bill of Rights, and now we say we need to have everything founded on our ethical principles. So our Committee on Ethics at FICO said, let's look at the principle of beneficence. Maternity care must be supportive. It must be individualized and it must be value-based. We make sure that we've got a partnership model. So it's a mother-baby family unit, not just looking at what the physician's needs or a midwife's needs are, but what does the family need to provide for her care? Healthcare practitioners are expected to routinely provide maternity care, but we have to make sure that we ensure all the practice are driven by evidence, our knowledge, and again, as we talk about her, health, educate, and respect. We need to know what is the knowledge base so that we can educate clearly. And we need to make sure we're following evidence-based practices. We also have a principle of non-maleficence. First, do no harm. We are expected to avoid harmful practices. Remember that little comment I said, too little, too late, too much, too soon? Having a woman not be able to have access to a cesarean section causes great harms, and we certainly see fistulas. But we also know that in too many situations, women just have C-sections without an indication, too much, too soon. And a woman who's had too many C-sections is at risk for placental problems. So we all know that we have harmful practices. So how to find the right balance is really the art of medicine, and I know the art of everybody in this room. We also need to avoid any disrespect and abuse of our patients. There's also the principle of justice, and I won't go into this in too much detail, but again, here we provide respect, dignity, and informed choice. So speaking with a woman, now I know as well as you do that we can talk with women and talk with them about why a certain set of care is most indicated, why she might need a C-section. And then you and I know we often have to balance what's the need of a mom and what's the need for that fetus. So we're always thinking of two patients simultaneously. We need to make sure that we're providing the care and cost transparency. I know that's something that happens in the United States where patients don't understand the medical bills that will follow them along. Now, thankfully, with the onset of Obamacare, obstetric care is covered. But we've seen that in too many places where women didn't know the cost of the care that they were giving. We need to promote wellness and prevention of illness and make sure that we are educating and using public health measures that are so critical today. WASH is one of our FIGO's most important areas: water, sanitation, and hygiene. Something as simple as making sure that every woman, every healthcare facility has adequate water. We know we saw shortages in COVID, and we still are seeing them, and that hygiene wasn't respected. So making all of these sure adequate are important. And then for those who know me, you know that for knowing that toxic environmental exposures should not be a part of what we provide to that fetus, whether it's through the IV tubing or any number of types of chemicals we expose a fetus to. And then finally, we have the principle of autonomy. Healthcare practitioners need to listen to what women need, what the families say, so that we see women through their childbirth continuum. Listen, and if we do have a handoff, we make sure that the next group of physicians and midwives caring for a patient understand what her needs and her interests and her desires are and what the family is saying. We have to respect and provide dignified care. Now, the third element the FIGO believes is critical to providing safe and respectful care is health system strengthening and where it links with respectful care. In fact, as I pointed out in the committee's structure, we believe it's so important. We've created an entire committee just for this area. Professor Bo Jacobson chairs our FIGO chaired our FIGO working group for preterm delivery when this was written. He now is division director for the entire set of committees. And he said pregnant women need to feel respected in contact with healthcare providers when they receive care, because it makes them more likely to seek the appropriate care. But healthcare needs to be evidence-based and delivered safely, and it has to be part of a system where the basic equipment is provided for. We shouldn't have our healthcare practitioners working in a vacuum where you don't even have the oxytocin, the ergots, the misoprostol to provide for a patient. So what are our recommendations about health system strengthening? First, we need to treat every woman and every newborn with compassion, with respect and dignity. No physical and no verbal abuse. We have to respect that there is gender identification. And I try to make sure I use the term people at times, but I fall back on women. We understand that there are gender identities that are just coming to our recognition now, that these are values and self-expression. We need to find out what a patient desires and what her needs are. We need to respect every woman's right to access and non-discrimination, and provide that whole continuum through childbearing, and continue with the mother-baby family units so that the maternity care provides a collaborative force here. And then we need to respect a woman's right for continuous support. And I know we all struggled with this during COVID. In our hospitals, the first ones in the United States that were hit, it was in New York City. And the very first reaction was a woman needed to labor by herself because we were all working out of fear. We did not understand. We could see how deadly COVID was. We could see how it was impacting our healthcare providers and our patients. And we acted out of fear so that we didn't have the support network. We didn't allow women to be in the same room with her child when she gave birth. We separated mom and baby. So we've learned, and I think as we all realize, we're learning more every day. So understanding what we've done well and what we've done wrong is absolutely critical. And finally, FIGO recommendations go on to say pharmacologic and non-pharmacologic alternatives should be available. If a woman wants some kind of medication, we do that. But if she doesn't, we support her in her own means of handling labor. We provide evidence-based practices. We avoid harmful procedures and practice that have insufficient evidence. And we weigh the risks for routine episiotomy, where there's no evidence for that, with the need for what a woman desires, and implement and enhance wellness and preventive illnesses or approaches to illness. And we provide the appropriate obstetric, neonatal, emergency treatment when needed. And all of us can look at our own hospital structure and say, are we responding as quickly as we should in the way we should? And again, I commend you with the Lardal practice and the simulation, because nothing has strengthened our outcomes more than the simulation training that we are doing. And finally, FIGO recommends that we have supportive human resource policy in place so we know how to approach patients. We provide that continuum of collaborative care with all healthcare practitioners. So if we do have a woman who's been under a midwife's care and she now needs cesarean section, that there is a seamless transition from one care practitioner to another, or one institution if we have to transfer a patient from one low-risk setting to a high-risk setting, that we respect one another, because the respect has to go from colleague to colleague and not just patient, colleague or physician to patient. And the fourth area that I'll describe is was overseen by Dr. Edgar Ivan Ortiz, who was the president of FLASOG, the Latin American Society of Obstetrics and Gynecology. And what Dr. Ortiz said is that childbirth is a very complex process, and it is essential for us to implement a safe delivery model, taking into account that there is an estimated 300,000 women dying during and after pregnancy and childbirth. 2 million newborns die within 28 days of birth. And most of these are happening in low resource setting. So how can we prevent those? And Dr. Ortiz is a very clear advocate on steps that we need, the steps that you all have seen, a model for safe childbirth. Health practitioners and health systems must register and investigate every single incident that occurs so we can go back and investigate what went wrong. I heard some of you mention, talking the next day when we do a recounting of what happened. How does that help us provide for a safer delivery? When an adverse outcome happens, what are the failures in our care processes? How do healthcare systems register and then investigate every single near miss or maternal death? How do we investigate a newborn's death or a stillbirth? Only by registering these will we improve our outcomes. And every country and every health system can have maternal quality care collaboratives that provides this unbiased look where the patient's records are open and are not going to be grabbed by the medical legal system. And I am so sorry with what you all have gone through the last month with the loss of one of your physicians because of the harassment she underwent for doing the appropriate care and the loss of her life. We should never see that. And that's why the safe and respectful care goes both directions. We have to be the strong ones to say we believe in safe and respectful care, but our colleagues must be respected. And when Dr. Ortiz and his team put together a model for safe childbirth, so we need to evaluate the minimum standards for safe delivery, identify opportunities for improvement, and create an action plan. And then analyze what are the events that are signs, identify those improvements, and create an action plan. And when we've got that action plan, make sure that we all train to that you do in your simulation training. So when I look at what we've done this last year, our conception date for safe and respectful maternity care was September 17th, 2021. Our delivery date is June 10th, 2022. So every one of our member societies, every society in obstetrics and gynecology, every hospital, every birthing center, every birthing location, if it's a home delivery, a birthing center, a hospital, a tertiary care center, and our societies, all of our countries, and everybody around the globe need to look at safe and respectful care, adopt a childbirth Bill of Rights, make sure that we've got an ethical basis to what we're doing, assure ourselves that we've looked at all of the steps that we need to do, and make sure that we are advocating for safe and respectful care. We have to say this for all of our patients, for all of our colleagues, for all of our families, and for all of our societies. Thank you very much. I appreciate being invited to this lecture, and I look forward to having everybody join me in Paris in October 2023 for our next World Congress. Thank you so very much. I'm honored to be here today.
Thank you, Dr. Jean. It was a fantastic oration, and it gives us a great insight of our leading organization, the FIGO, and Foxy is a part of that organization, and we will follow your leadership, and we will try to implement all these things in our country.
Thank you so much. You are my friends and my colleagues. I'm honored.
Thank you. I hand over the mic to Shanta ma'am.
I echo the same feelings. It would have been lovely to have you over here in Mumbai physically, but nevertheless, we enjoyed having you online. Thank you for being with us, Jean, on behalf of all of us.
You.
And looking
Thank
forward
you so
to
much.
seeing you in person soon.
Madam,
will.
now we would like to play the video of the plaque. Can we have Sagar, can we have the video? Please put on the audio and loud.
Mumbai Obstetrics and Gynecological Society, MOGS, Dr. Dosify Dada Boy Silver Jubilee Oration is conferred upon Dr. Jean A. Conry, MD PhD, FIGO President, on the topic of safe and respectful maternity care on 16th of April 2022 at the MOGS 3rd World Congress of Labour and Delivery, signed by the President, Dr. Niranjan Chavan, Secretary, Dr. Rajendra Sankar, Dr. Geeta Balsarkar, the Treasurer of MOGS. It's an honor and my privilege to hand over the plaque to Dr. Jean A. Conry, FIGO President, and giving her valuable time for India. Mumbai Obstetric and Gynecological Society is the founder member of FOXI, founded in 1934, and all of us are very happy to see you live today giving this oration.
Thank you so much. I am truly honored to accept this plaque and more importantly to give this oration. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. That was well orchestrated.
Madam, thank you. It was a wonderful, memorable day. And it was so kind of you to accept at the AICOG. And we were planning and deciding whether you're coming from Germany or France. And we were literally going to see you live. But it was just 2 days back. So that was the only occasion where we could do this wonderful presentation. And we are very happy today. We've got more than 4,500 members who are logged in all over the globe. And this, it's a hybrid event. And there are more than 300 members here of MOGS who have been listening to your talk of this Silver Jubilee oration. So thank you again, once again.
Thank you.
You've been there for more than 2.5 hours online, Shanta. And it's all because of your affection and love for India, for FOXI, and for our members of MOGS. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Love you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. I would like to thank all the chairperson for such a wonderful oration. Moving on, we'll begin with our MOGS HER, Heal, Educate and Respect, which is the theme of the year, conference oration. I would like to begin with inviting our chairperson, Dr. Sarita Bhalerao, immediate past president, Dr. Nandita Palshetkar, past president FOXI, MOGS, MOGS, IAG, and Dr. Rajendra Sankpal, joint secretary, MOGS. Now secretary, yes, just still secretary MOGS. I would request Dr. Bhalerao madam to invite our speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you for this conference oration. This is the MOGS, her World Congress of Labor and Delivery conference oration. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our FOXI president, Dr. Shanta Kumari. We all know Dr. Shanta Kumari. She's a very, very dynamic lady and who's done remarkable work in the area of women's health. And her name, I think, is synonymous with Dhira, violence against women. When I think of Dr. Shanta, I think of her flagship project, and I think of the amazing work that she's done in this area. Right from the time of the Rio conference in FIGO, she's been working on this project, and she has got really, really a lot of credit for this. Her major awards and achievements: she's an FRCOG, she's an FRCPI of the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland, and she has received many awards. And I'd like to say that the MOGS 2021 Dr. Ganatra Charitable Medical Center Award, the N.A. Pandit and Mrs. Shailaja Pandit Award, Pride of Foxy Award, Foxy Star Award, CL Javeri Award, and she has delivered many orations, organized many conferences, and we have all had the pleasure of experiencing her fantastic hospitality in Hyderabad. Dr. Shanta Kumari, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Sarita, for your kind words and kind introduction. I think I would like to again thank the MOGS President, Secretary, and the whole team of MOGS for giving me the opportunity to come back to Mumbai to deliver this oration. I think I was here about 15 days back or 1 month back. Leave it. Correct, hai na? Yeah, all right. I don't know what you did. I'm going to close this. Because I don't know what they did. I don't want that. I want the full screen here and it's not opening. Full screen karo mere ko bhi aur udhar bhi. Bas. Udhar ऐसा आया. Udhar karo. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That needed Makran's hand. Thank you, Makran. Strategies for maximizing women's health into the future. I just remember about a month and a half back, we were in Hyderabad and in one of the meetings of Foxy, and Niranjan says, yeah, what shall be the topic of your oration in the conference? I said, I don't know. I've still not decided. Then Amaya and Niranjan and all were there and they started talking. Okay, strategies for maximizing women's health into future. Kiran May and all decided. I said, it's okay. Thank you very much for this. And I hope you'll enjoy the presentation which was made few hours back. Friends, when we are talking about strategies for maximizing women's health into future, I have to quote that when you are talking about strategies for women's health, what more can you think of, or what else can you think of other than Foxy? Foxy is the voice of women's health in our country. And it gave me a lot of happiness to actually go to my Foxians to ask for their support to become the President Foxy. And I went with the mission and vision of Foxy for every mother, for every obstetrician, for every child. And it was so very pleasant that all of you put your faith in me and made me the President Foxy. And when I was invited to this Global Maternal and Newborn Health Leadership Workshop, which I shared with you all before in Dakar, in Africa, that was the day when I realized the importance of advocacy, the importance of leadership in trying to get the best for women's health. And everyone is strategizing to see what best can be offered in women's health. I used to wonder, what is it that makes people think of women's health? Now, suddenly everyone is interested in women's health, and World Bank, the FIGO, the UN, the WHO, UNFPA, and all the other partners, USAID, UNICEF, you name it, and they're all strategizing. And then when I read an article about cancer cervix, HPV vaccination, the World Bank said for every $1 invested into the vaccination for the HPV, they get back $3.8 in return by saving the woman's life by 2030. And by 2050, it's going to be $30 or $50 for every $1 invested. So they look at women's health also, taking into consideration the money and economy point of view. And that actually struck me. But then it's okay. At least something made everyone think that women's health is very important, though it may be monetary only. But finally, that got all of the people across the globe to sit back and think that, yes, we need to work for women's health. Foxy for all always and Dhira stop violence against women. For every mother to reduce the maternal mortality rate, to achieve the SDG goals. Let no mother die in childbirth. For every woman to live with courage, to say no to war. For every Foxian to be able to practice with safety, dignity, and protocols with no to violence against doctors. Friends, where does India stand? India's rank in the Human Development Index report in 2018 is 130 out of 189 countries. Dear Rishikesh Baba has told that India has overtaken Russia in some billions of rupees. But when you look at the Human Development Index report, we still are way back. I think it's time for us to see how we actually escalate this rank of us here. So what are the priorities and the key areas of action? Strengthening and governance for women's health and well-being with women at the center. Eliminating discriminatory values, norms, and practices that affect the health and well-being of girls and women. Tackling the impact of gender, social, economic, cultural, and environmental determinants on women's health and well-being. Improving health system responses to women's health and well-being. Optimizing technology in reaching every woman. That is the idea behind the strategies towards better health. SDG goals, everyone knows the importance, and 2030 is coming very fast. We need to increase the sex differences research in basic science studies. Incorporate findings of the sex gender differences in the design and application of new technologies, medical devices, and therapeutic drugs. Actualize the personalized prevention, diagnostic, and therapeutics for girls and women. Create strategic alliances and partnerships to maximize the domestic and global impact of women's health and research. That's so very important if you are looking at Human Development Index in the country. Moving into the future with new dimensions and strategies, a vision for 2030 for women's health research. When you look at the National Women's Health Strategy 2020 to 2030, when you look at the government of Australia, the key priorities and actions have been developed to drive change and improve health outcomes. The 5 priority areas are the maternal, sexual, and reproductive health, healthy aging, adopt a life course approach to healthy aging. That's so very important. Chronic conditions and preventive health, increasing the awareness and prevention of chronic conditions, symptoms, and risk factors. You invest in targeted prevention, early detection, and intervention. 4th, mental health, so very important. Enhance the gender-specific mental health awareness, education, prevention, focus on early intervention. 5th is the health impact of violence against women and girls. Raise the awareness about and address the health-related impacts of violence against women and girls. Co-design and deliver safe and accessible services. These are the ones which are contributing to the National Women's Health Strategy. When you look at the maternal, sexual, and reproductive health, the strategy handbook, the RKSK, the Rashtriya Kishori Swasthya Karyakram, a strategic approach to reproductive, maternal, newborn, child, and adolescent health for the healthy mother and child. Look at the wonderful work which is being done by the Government of India for the maternal and child health. Putting the woman at the center, a review of Indian policy to address person-centered care in the maternal and newborn health, family planning, and abortion. Still quality and patient-centered holistic care. There are a lot of lacunae. So when you look at the various programs, the 1992, the CSSM project launch, 92 to 93, the first NFHS survey, 94 to 96, we saw the UN conference on population development at Cairo, women and development at Beijing, rise of reproductive right movements. It was in the 90s when all this started. The RCH programs, integrated RCH. 2000 to 2005 saw the National Population Policy, the IMR, the MMR goals, the quality assurance, the NABH, the NHM, NRHM, the NUHM. Then the RMCH and Lakshya, RMC, and respectful abortion care. You see the evolution of all the strategies which utilize technology to strive to better health of women. Look at this slide, the percentage of change, contribution of communicable and non-communicable diseases as cause of death for the Indian women from 90s to 2030. When you look at the future of women's health using data and research to shape a policy, a roundtable discussion was held at 2017 when Rishma, when you were the president. As per the Global Burden of Diseases study in 2016 report, the contribution of communicable maternal, neonatal, and reproductive diseases to deaths amongst Indian women declined from 53% of the 90s to less than 30% in 2016. On the other hand, we find the non-communicable diseases, the NCDs, have emerged as the largest killers of women in India, being responsible for more than 65% of all death among women in 2016. So it's up from 38% in the 90s. So you have to see that you have to have a shift in your strategies. You have to have a shift in the technological implementation for better health. So when you look at it, three critical issues. Now, how do we look at women's health in totality? Not just focus on the sexual and reproductive health. How do we understand and address the gender gap in access to care and treatment? And how do we use and generate data through research to facilitate a more nuanced understanding of gender-related health issues? This is so very important. In relation to creating a more gender nuanced studies and researchers, the meeting discussed the need for affirmative action in the area of career, fellowship, mentorship for women's health researchers. This was the critical three issues which were needed to strategize for better development. Holistic health, gender equality, more gender-based and sex-based research to understand specific nuances to female health issues. This is what was needed. Lack of sex disaggregated analysis of the healthcare data that prevents full understanding of women's health conditions. There is a need to use health management and data available in the public domain to create an appropriate evidence base for gender-specific actions to improve women's health. Now, how are you going to optimize the digital revolution? Is it only webinars or the online programs? Digital technologies offer an unprecedented opportunity to change lives, to transform economies and stimulate growth. The mobile connectivity, the mobile technology have actually opened up new opportunities to connect people. The use of digital technologies for health is a transformative agent, especially in the low income settings where mobile connectivity has reached unprecedented penetration and ubiquity. This was quoted by WHO. My mother is a gynecologist. For a long time, she did not have a cell phone. One day morning, she got up to take the paper. She went out. Our municipality MCH workers, all of them were having a telephone, mobile in the hand. She said, now this is not acceptable. I need a mobile phone. So that is where the technology has reached our women. The current digital health transformation provided an excellent accelerator for reaching the health-related SDG goals. Now, how do we optimize the digital revolution? There is a growing consensus in the global health community that strategic and innovative use of digital and cutting-edge information communication technology will be the essential enabling factor towards ensuring 1 billion more people benefit from universal health coverage. 1 billion more people are better protected from health emergencies, and 1 billion more people enjoy better health and well-being. The WHO triple billion targets. Digital health should be an integral part of the health priorities and benefit people in a way that it's ethical, safe, secure, reliable, equitable, and sustainable. It should be developed with principles of transparency, accessibility, scalability, replicability, interoperability, privacy, security, and confidentiality. All these dialogues we hear in all the meetings of where all these partners are meeting. I never used to understand all that. That's very good for speaking, for talking, and policy making. But the outcome is seen only when it becomes implemented. That is importance. Then it will be the optimizing of the digital revolution. Now, 10 evidence-based recommendations on digital interventions for the health system strengthening WHO. You look at the births are notified and accounted for receiving the services. Then the target client communication. So individual can access health services and information. Click of the button, the client to provide a telemedicine. From there, the healthcare worker is accessible. The health comorbidities and supplies are available at the point of care. The stock notifications and commodity engagement. To the health workers, acknowledging about which services to provide. So this, and then that goes to the health worker and providing appropriate high quality care. That goes to the health worker, following up to ensure individuals to receive appropriate services. That goes finally where the deaths are notified and accountable for. Now, this is how the evidence-based recommendations and digital interventions are going to work. We have seen in Foxy the chatbots, the building best-in-class chatbots during the COVID-19, the Ask Tanu, etc. They're software programs that interact with people over the voice or text. And in COVID-19, we have seen they have played a very important role. Artificial intelligence enabled solutions, which is expected to increase over in the coming years. So the next new generation, all of you Foxy leaders who are in the row, now you have to see how you can utilize artificial intelligence for providing better care. The online teleconsultations, the National Health Portal. We have seen how telemedicine evolved, how the elements related to telemedicine, the National Medical College Network, the tele-education, National Telemedicine Network, all these are trying to improve how we teach our students and how we target our patients. Online training courses, I think we know very well about the webinars, workshops, conferences, and trainings. When you look at telehealth, in an attempt to coalesce the available public health data, providing easy access, the Ministry of Health, the Government of India took up projects of Integrated Disease Surveillance Project, the National Cancer Network, National Rural Telemedicine Network, National Medical College Network, the Digital Medical Library Network. Now, setting up of the standardized telemedicine guidelines by the Department of the Information Technology by the Government of India, and setting up of a National Telemedicine Task Force by the Health Ministry in 2005. Remember, see, it was in 2005 where some of the other positive steps were taken by the government. A few of the noteworthy examples when you look at the successfully established telemedicine services in India include the mammography services at Sri Gangaram Hospital in Delhi, the oncology at Regional Cancer Center in Trivandrum, surgical services at Sanjay Gandhi PG Institute of Medical Sciences. So these are all some of the examples. When you look at this telehealth, in the past few years, ISRO's telemedicine network had come a long way. It has expanded to connect 45 remote and rural hospitals and 15 super specialty hospitals. The remote nodes include the islands of Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep, the hilly regions of Jammu and Kashmir, medical college hospitals in Orissa, and so many other rural and district hospitals in other states. WHO has recommended a doctor population ratio of 1:1,000, while the current doctor population in our country is 0.62 per 1,000 with inequitable distribution. Now, training of physicians, new physicians, time consuming, expensive. So this deficit can be made up by the active telemedicine services in various parts of the country. Now, look at this regional cancer care where ISRO was used to offer care. So we have to see how the strategies can be utilized. The intersection of the gender equality, strong women, stable future, and over it, use strategies of technology. We got the Foxy UNICEF. We have seen how the DIRA module, the online school program, this is strengthening of the governance for women's health and well-being with women in the center and eliminating the discriminatory values and norms and practices. These are some of the DIRA online school programs, which over the last few months have been taking the country by storm. And I'm sure by June, we'll be covering our target. And we have seen there is so much of involvement of the boys and girls. This has shown how strategies, technology can help better women's health. So if we can catch them health in the very beginning, give them an idea of what it is, I'm sure that we could utilize this for doing so many other things in future. The advocacy of Foxy, respectful abortion care, to build a strong, positive global standard as a basic human right. Again, we are using the online strategies to reach out to the Foxians at a more faster pace than we could have done physically. The ANM online, the Anmol, the auxiliary nurse midwife online. Now, this was done for quite some time. Real-time data entry and update by ANMs, improved quality of data, readily available training contents, and internet connectivity is not a constraint. Now, when you look at the journey of Anmol, a tab is called the Anmol ANM online, and it helps in preparing the list, the work plan, the logistics. And this is one of the novel innovation in the field of public health with real-time data entry and data analysis for taking action in the field by the healthcare workers. This is how you're going to use the technology, and it's been used in India. The mother and child tracking system, the MCTS, which is a centralized web-based application for improving the delivery of healthcare services to the pregnant women and children up to 5 years of age. So what is happening is the district administration, right from the collector to the DMHO, they're using this MCTS tracking to see that every mother is tracked so that they don't lose track. They follow up, and actually they ask, why has this patient not delivered in the government setup? So this is how they're monitoring, and that has actually enabled our state to bring down the maternal mortality to 56. Telangana and Maharashtra has reached 36. I think application of these strategies, technologies, and being accountable are the important points. In our state, we had the KCR kit and the portal. At one time, what happened was Tamil Nadu was having more than 75% of institutional deliveries. We were less than 50%. The new CM, new state, they said, what is it that we can do? Then they introduced this KCR kit at that time. And that really won the patients over. And slowly we have seen that there's a shift into the public sector, hospitals, institutional deliveries. Now they've almost reached up to 60%. Of course, he's aiming to get 100%, 90%, which of course, none of my other gynecologists, the private practice, are very happy about, because everyone needs to deliver women, but deliver them vaginally as far as possible. Okay. So we find that there's a landmine of data on MCH, 51% of public facility deliveries. And Telangana is actually standing third in country in the MCH health indices. Then the e-Aushadhi, web-based drug warehouse and supply chain. We got the STEMI focus on the NCDs. We have seen in Tamil Nadu how the STEMI India is helping the people when they have cardiac problems. This is how you can strategize for women's health, better care, screening for malignancies, a collaboration, so very important. Use technology for this. Cervical cancer screening, we are very happy. We have seen this public awareness programs, which we have done. We have seen, again, we have used technology, the Foxy Cancer Survey. So you can use an synergic, I think, strategies to approach this. Friends, national, international collaboration for knowledge and setting the skills. Foxy with FIGO, with WHO, with UNICEF, with USAID, with the RCPI, with the RCOG, ICMR, and the IAP, NNF, the ICM. I think everyone together need to strategize for better health, and that will definitely bring a change. Thank you very much. And let's hope we use the strategies for better women's health.
Shanta, that was wonderful. I think I've been traveling with Shanta the entire year, and the amazing, I've seen her grow over the years, and from a little girl from Hyderabad to today, she's really turned into a global leader, and her policies about health of women and her concepts about women's health, I think they are very futuristic, and she's so deeply passionate about it. So Shanta, I really appreciate that you're so focused and so passionate about it, and I think it's really creditable the way you've conducted the whole year, and we are really, really proud of you, and thank you for this beautiful oration. Thank you.
It was really a wonderful speech, and really there's so much into it, a digitalization which is made by the government authorities, and that information is everywhere to emphasize upon the women's health. And it's really you have taken so much efforts to bring it to our notice.
Rajendra, I would like to share with you all. In fact, we are 38,000 members and we are not growing from there. We should be actually by next year. We should cross the 41,000. What I find is that a lot of us are in public and many of us are in private. The work which is happening, the quality of technology improvement which is happening in the government sector is enormous. And those in the private sector actually don't know what is happening. And we think the private sector is doing phenomenal job, but let me tell you this, the way the maternal mortality rate has reduced, the way the accountability, everything, it is a fantastic work which is done by our government with a collaboration over the years, which we have, of course, the end point are our obstetrician gynecologists doing the groundwork, but this collaboration, I think that is very important. And that was the reason I thought we should put forward. And I've got one more presentation next time. We'll do that. All the government policies, not for your oration.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And congratulations for the wonderful talk.
Now we would like to call our past trustee and past president, both of Madam Dr. Usha Saraya Madam, Dr. Vandana Valvekar Madam, Secretary and Treasurer Dr. Geeta Balsarkar. Please come up. Yes, Madam, come. And now I would like to read the plaque. The Mumbai, no, I'm just reading. Yeah. The Mumbai Obstetric and Gynecological Society, MOGS, her conference oration is conferred upon the orator, Dr. S. Shanta Kumari. Our beloved Foxy president, on the topic strategies for maximizing women's health into the future on 16th of April 2022 at the MOGS Her World Congress of Labor and Delivery, signed by Dr. Niranjan Chavan, President, Rajendra Sangpal, Secretary, and Dr. Geeta Balsarkar, Treasurer, MOGS. Yeah. Thank you, Madam, for being there. And it's an honor to give this wonderful plaque, which we have done specially for you, from the hands of our esteemed former trustee, Dr. Usha Saraya Madam, and Vandana Valvekar Madam, MOGS past president, Nandita Palshetkar and Sarita Bhalerao.
Thank you, everyone. And on behalf of our newly elected president, I'll request everyone to join for president's dinner.
Can I remove this?
Yes.